So we'll go ahead and get started. I want everyone to spread out. We got 3 white lines here. Okay, just spread yourself out. And again, I'm gonna take you through step by step of like I'm coaching athletes in our classes. There we go, perfect. 2 lines works, that's totally good as well. Okay, so as we're doing this, right, really important to pay attention to those cues that I'm giving you guys, because you can take those cues and kind of give it to any of your athletes to hopefully help get them in the right spot. So if you're looking at your sheet, okay, raise, we're gonna do front rack step overs, okay? So with these, okay, everyone's gonna put their feet on the white line. Okay, feet on the white line, we're gonna go hands behind our head. Okay, from here, notice how I can see my elbows. I'm gonna try not to see my elbows, okay, working on that posture. From here, one leg, you've got an imaginary hurdle right in front of you. Okay, so you're gonna take that foot, you're gonna step straight over, our heel touches down in front. Okay, straight over to the back, heel touches down behind. Okay, just get a couple reps here on either side, bringing that knee all the way up and over, all the way back to the back. Perfect, let's see it. I love it, good. Just a couple on each side, switch to your other leg. Good, I love it. So a couple things we're looking for here, okay? Our body's not swaying side to side. We're not opening that hip out to the side. Okay, we are activating those hip flexors on the leg that's going up and over. Okay, we are activating our quad, our hamstring, our glute on the leg that's down on the ground, okay? So again, just a different way to think about it versus just straight running for a jog series, okay? So I love that, okay? Second exercise here that we have, what we usually like to break it up with, because I know for some kids, we're doing something that's just standing. Okay, they're not gonna be all that entertained. So in between these stationary movements, we get them running. So on your sheet, okay, it says open and close the gates, 10, okay, 10 yards, just opening, swinging, leg up and around, okay, the classic things. It could be a skip, it could be a jog to back pedal, it could be anything that just gets them running to another line and coming back before you go into your next movement, okay? So from here, our next movement, same thing, this time just going lateral, okay? So just working on our hips a little bit more here. So hands, you're gonna go up behind our head. Okay, this time our hurdle is to the side. Okay, so we're gonna go up and over, one leg goes out and across. We bring our trail leg, our whole body comes to the other side. Okay, so again, up and over our hurdle, knee drives up. Okay, bring that trail leg across with you. There we go, good, just a couple. Yep, so the trail leg comes across as well. Yes, sir. Okay, so posture-wise, so we do this a lot. Understood, so you can kind of take this in 2 different directions, right? So when we're teaching it here, hands behind our head, because we're teaching it on kind of a speed day, so an acceleration or a top speed day. So it's working on the postural aspect, okay? But for something like soccer, to make it a little bit more specific for you guys, you could get your hands involved. You could bring it across when you're coming here. You could go hands on your hips, something that keeps it a little more engaged and towards soccer. The reason we do it behind our head was just the posture aspect for our speed days. It's a very good question. So you could keep your hands down low and it's still activating the same exact muscles that we're looking to activate. Does that answer your question? Okay, sweet. All right, so again, after you do kind of your lateral step overs here, again, something that gets them moving. So again, we're taking a jog, we're taking a shuffle, a karaoke, a skip, then we're coming back to the line. Okay, so again, it's just a different way of thinking about raise, right? So instead of just naturally everyone goes to a jog series, you're still raising your heart rate with your jogs. You're still increasing your blood flow to the areas that you need to increase the blood flow toward, right? So everything lower body here for soccer, really important. Okay, again, like I said, even with these, it seems very simple, but to stabilize, you're squeezing that glute, okay? You're squeezing your quad to stay where you're at. You're stabilizing your knee, okay? That leg that's coming up and over, you're activating your hip flexors. So backside, front side, all in those hips. Okay, does that make sense to everyone of kind of the thought process behind that and why we do that? Cool, okay, so turn to the person next to you. Okay, either groups of 2, groups of 3. I want one person to coach the others through it. Okay, so now this is the opportunity for you guys to articulate it and tell someone else how to do it. Okay, and we're gonna rotate through all 4 of the sections so everyone will have an opportunity to coach. Okay, here we go. Yep, yeah, essentially. So if someone's finding it hard to balance with it kind of up nice and tall and straight, yes, you can add a little bit of a bend. It'll lower that center of gravity just a hair, enough to where it's a little bit more balanced. Yes, if we can. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's working both legs. That leg that's down, you're having to squeeze your glutes, stabilize, everything's working in here. Then you're activating your hip flexor on that other leg and going up and over. Yeah. There you go, good. If anyone has any questions, okay, please let me know. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we've taken, and here we have things. If you have hurdles or cones, perfect. Use those. It gives them something to look for versus it kind of being imaginary. Yeah. Back over, yep. If we can, heel in front, toe behind. Yeah, like your toe, like a clock touches, up and in front, heel, back to the back, toe. Yep, it's perfect, yep. All right, you guys, good. Let's just take a quick pause here. Okay, so there's something that I want to talk about, okay, with regards to how we are portraying this and speaking it to our athletes. There are two types of cues that we talk about here, internal and external cues, okay? So internal is going to be something more like, okay, you're gonna pick your leg up, you're gonna activate your hip flexor, you're gonna step over and you're gonna touch your heel down in front, right? External, okay, gives them something outside of their body that they can think about. Okay, there's a hurdle in front of us. Most kids know what a hurdle looks like. Or there's a fence. You're stepping up and over the fence in front of you. Okay, it gives them, some people hear things different and can understand them in different ways. Okay, so right, if you tell a kid to just keep their back flat, they might not understand how to put their back in a flat position. If you tell them to keep it flat as a board or flat as an iPad, something that resonates with them, like, oh, I know an iPad is straight. Okay, so I have to make my body straight, right? It just gives them a different way of hearing it, a different way of thinking about it. Does that make sense? So throughout any of this, kind of, if you're having problems getting someone in the right spot, think of a different way to say it. So outside of their body, give them something to think about. A table, if you want them to be rounded in any way, be like a tire, something like that, just outside of their body. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay, cool. So we'll go into our next one here, so activate. You will notice that especially as we get into activate and mobilize, there will be a lot of kind of intertwining. Okay, some of our mobilizing exercises will also kind of activate other parts of our body. Some of our activates will mobilize specific joints as well. Okay, so there is a lot of kind of free flowing between the two. So with our activate, okay, if you're taking a look at your sheet, we're gonna go fire hydrants. So fire hydrants are gonna activate our glutes. We're gonna come down to all fours, okay? Our hands are gonna go right under our shoulders, our knees go right under our hips. From here, we're gonna keep our entire body nice and steady where it's at. We're just going to lift one knee straight out to the side, right back down, okay? Again, notice the rest of my body doesn't shift, okay? I don't lean, I don't open my hips. Everything stays where it's at. I only use that glute to open straight out and come right back down. Okay, so let's get a couple reps here. Let's just see if we got it. Okay, you can go a couple on each side. Your knees can stay down on the ground. Bring your knees forward a little, or shift your hips back. Shift your hips back, right there. You can, yeah. There we go, good. I love it, you guys. Yes. Yes, and I spoke about that with the last group, that's okay. So I'm gonna give you another glute exercise here in a second that you can utilize instead. I will say, external cues, okay, be careful. I know that a lot of us in that position, okay, naturally we go to, it's a dog peeing on a fire hydrant, right? Not applicable necessarily to young women or young men, okay, so that's totally fine. if that's something that we're concerned about, there are other ways to activate your glutes. Okay, you can just skip to a different glute exercise. Another one that we're gonna do here, I'll demonstrate for you guys. I know that's a bit of a concern sometimes. All right, so from here, we'll go into some glute bridges, okay? Glute bridges are gonna activate our glutes as well. So from here, we're gonna lie down on our back. Okay, with this, we're gonna drive through our heels, okay? So we're gonna push through our heels. Something I tell the athletes is your toes don't even have to be on the ground, okay? A lot of people will naturally push through their toes, okay? But I want you guys to be pushing through your heels. So when we lie back, driving through our heels, hips come up. The idea is straight line from our knees, hips, shoulders, and then right back down to the floor. Okay, so squeezing our glutes at the top and right back down. Okay, let's get a couple reps here with this as well. So about 90 degrees. Yeah, about 90 degrees. Yes, yeah. So you guys are perfect right where you're at. So for the purpose of this, you can do straight leg glute bridges. It just hits something different. So if your legs are longer out, you're gonna hit a little bit more hamstring versus your feet being a little bit more in, you're gonna hit a little bit more glute. So if you put your legs further out. Nope, so we want about 90 degrees here. So you can even bring them out. Yeah, right there. And now we're up. Yep, so with regards to your hands, you guys, if you are pressing your hands into the ground, it's just gonna help you stabilize a little bit more. If you have a kid who kind of goes to the top and they're wiggling and wobbling, tell them to hold onto the ground. Okay, put your palms into the ground, will help you stabilize. If you have someone who is easily flying through this, a little bit more challenging, if you take your hands off the ground, okay, you don't have anything to kind of stabilize your body with, so you're a little bit more shifty. You could potentially be a little bit more shifty with it, so you have to activate your core a little bit more. Cool? Good with that one? All right, perfect. Then going into our inchworms, okay? Inchworms, gonna activate our core as well as get a good hamstring stretch, activating those. So from here, we'll start standing up nice and tall. I'll only have you guys do a couple reps of these just so you get a feel for it. I'm sure you've done inchworms before. Okay, but with this one, our legs stay nice and long. Okay, that's the key here, is that we keep our knees back. Okay, so we're keeping those legs nice and long. Gonna go hands down to the ground. You're gonna walk your hands away from your feet. Okay, then you walk your feet toward your hands. Only to the spot, okay, before they start to bend. So if you start walking your feet in and you feel the bend here, great, that's where you stop and you move your hands out. If you can walk all the way back to where your feet get all the way in and your legs are straight, perfect, okay? So we're getting that hamstring stretch. All right, let's get a couple reps in here, let's see. Just a couple reps, so it can be dependent on kind of the space you have or the yardage. There we go. And so if someone can't even bend over from the start like that, just start them in a plank to where they just walk their feet in. Then you don't have to worry about them laying forward. Yeah. Woo. Right there, yep. Ooh. Good old hamstring stretch, right? But it's tiring as well, right? So it's activating your upper body, it's activating your core. So it's not just a straight hamstring stretch. Okay, like I said before, there's a little bit of an intertwine between the two, okay? So going into our next one, okay, we got two more here. Reverse lunge with a reach, okay? So again, with this, we're gonna start standing up nice and tall. We're gonna take one step back. Okay, that back knee sinks down nice and close to the ground. Okay, it hovers from here. Big reach all the way back. Okay, then we stand up nice and tall. So hip flexors here, lengthening even up into our core. Okay, we're getting a big stretch with that slight lean back. Okay, if you have a player who's kind of not able to balance or stay steady, back knee goes down to the ground and we just lean back slightly from there. Okay, then we can come back to the top and go for our other leg. Sound good? All right, let's give it a shot. There we go, taking that step back knee sinks down nice and close to the ground. Oh, nice big reach. There you go. There we go. So again, we're activating our glutes, we're activating our quads, but we're also mobilizing and getting a good solid stretch here as we go as well. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Good, that's exactly what we're going for. There we go. Just like yoga, that's exactly right. There we go. Yep. Warrior pose, something like that. There we go. Awesome. Okay, the last one we have here in our activate. Okay, again, total body activation, shoulders, core, hip flexors, quads. From here, we're gonna go, you only have to take a few steps here. Bear crawl, okay, forward and back. So bear crawls mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Okay, so the bear crawls that we're gonna work on are gonna be a little bit more strict. So from here, again, our hands are gonna be under our shoulders, okay, knees under our hips. Our knees then come off the ground, we hover, okay? Our core stays nice and tight. You're taking small steps forward. Okay, again, notice how my back stays nice and flat, and we're taking small steps backwards back. Okay, so just a few steps here. Let's see what we got. Okay, keeping those backs flat, knees hover just above the ground. There we go. And backwards back. Yee! Exactly. There we go, you guys. Beautiful. Perfect. So again, kind of total body activation, shoulders, core, quads, okay, hip flexors should be burning there as well. Okay, sound good to everyone? We good with those? All right, so do me a favor, partner up again. Just pick a couple of those exercises. Go ahead, talk each other through it. Make sure we know how to speak it to each other. All right, here we go. Partner up, couple exercises. So any of them. Lovely bear crawl. Okay, I'll speed my sign up. Okay, I'll make it quick. I'll try and speed it up. If he has to wait, just tell him to go into a little talk storytelling. There we go, you guys. Good. Relax, relax, relax. All right, you guys. Anyone have any questions on any of those specifically? Okay, or any questions about the R and the A in general? Good. All right, sweet. We'll move into our mobilize now, okay? Just gonna hit 2 of these exercises, okay? The other 2 most of you will be familiar with. I'll still demonstrate, okay? But for these first 2 specifically, okay, our Spider-Man stretch, okay? I love this one. It becomes a little bit more of a total body, okay? You're hitting a few different spots. With our Spider-Man, starting standing up, you're gonna take 1 big step out in front of us, okay? That foot gets flat on the ground. From here, both my hands go down next to that foot. Okay, then I'm gonna turn, I'm gonna look at my knee, I'm gonna turn toward it. Okay, if we can keep that back leg straight, let's go for it. Okay, turning toward that knee, crawling into our next one. Okay, that foot comes up, rotating toward that knee, hand comes back down. Okay, let's try and get a couple reps there. This one can be a little bit more complicated. Okay, so big step out, hands go down next to our foot, we turn and we look at our knee. That way, yep. Yep, and then crawl forward into your next one. Our other foot comes forward this time. There we go. You only got to hit a couple reps. I won't make you guys go super fast. Yeah. Good. So you should be feeling that in a couple different spots. Okay, as we take that step out, really big with that hip flexor. Okay, all the way down the front side of that leg. Getting a little bit of a T-spine rotation in as well. Okay, so I love that one. A little bit more total body. Like I said, it activates as well, so they kind of flow together. Next one, okay? Couple different ways of doing this, right? You can mobilize by doing something that's a little bit more stationary, okay, or more dynamic like the one we just did. So for this next one, it'll be a little more stationary. We'll go active straight leg raise. So lying down on the ground, getting our hamstrings here. One leg will lock straight into the floor. You're gonna keep it locked down. Other leg locks out. You're gonna lift it as high as you can to the sky. So from here, one leg locks, one leg lifts. Okay, for some people, you're gonna kick all the way up. For others, you might not make it that far, and that's okay. Okay, as long as we're hitting our spot. Okay, couple reps on each. There you go, good. Lock that lower leg into the ground. Oh, there we go. There we go, you guys, good. Woo! Nice big hamstring stretch. Okay, so when we talk about mobilize, there's active and passive as well. This one being a little bit more active versus just pulling something and stretching it. Okay, this one we're making ourselves move, we're making it more dynamic. Okay, so the next two, you guys can go ahead and stand up. Next two, very simple. Okay, you guys have probably done these before. Okay, so I won't make you guys coach each other through this one. The next one is gonna be our classic lateral lunge. Okay, so taking that one big step out. The only thing we want to focus on here through this is that back leg stays straight. Okay, our toes, knees, hips, everything stays facing in front versus turning more to the side. Okay, so from here, toes, knees, hips forward, we pop all the way back up to the top, and we can go out the other direction. Okay, so you should feel it in that groin, a little bit in that hamstring as well. Those hips go down and back. Our chest stays nice and tall. Okay, let's get a couple reps in here just so we get a feel for it. Whoa, there we go. Perfect, good, you guys. So that one a little bit more classic, maybe compared to the other two. Okay, and then also another classic one being our quad pull. Okay, so just with our quad pull, one leg comes back. Okay, keep that glute press forward, our hips stay forward. Opposite arm going straight up to the sky. We just say hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, then rotate to your other side. Okay, you can do it traveling, you can do it stationary. Just make sure we're keeping those hips forward. Nice big reach, nice big pull. Okay, a little bit more standard, but still important to hit that front side with our quads as well. Okay, it's classic, it works. All right, any questions with those last two? No? Okay, perfect. We'll go into our last and final one here. I really want to hit our marches, okay? So our marches, getting ourselves ready for kind of our linear speed direction. We'll go hands on our hips. Okay, hands on our hips here. I want you guys to think that, again, we talk internal, external cues. Okay, your foot is a hammer. Okay, you are hammering down into the ground. The nail is the floor. Okay, so nice aggressive punch. All right, you don't tap something nice and easy with the hammer. You give it a good whack. So from here, we're gonna come leg all the way up in front, punch into the floor. Nice quick, I should hear it. When I get you guys going in a sec, I should hear everyone's foot hit. So we'd march, big punch, punch, punch. Okay, so that's how aggressive I want you guys to step into the ground. When you do this with your athletes, you can do it stationary. The next level would then be moving with it. So if we're stationary here, punch, 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 punch. If you're moving, you're just putting more force forward. We're trying not to let our body wiggle around too much. Everything stays steady, straight ahead. Okay, just get a couple reps right in place. Okay, nice aggressive step. Good, so when we're doing that, I want you guys to make sure the ball of our